The reason that I go in on the second frame is sometimes the queen is actually on the outer frame. So when you pull it up along the wall of this, you'll end up rolling the bees and it smushes them and kills them. It doesn't happen very often, but now these are, as you smoke a hive, the drones actually go to the honey more. There's a whole bunch of drones through here, and they're actually looking for the honey. And the honey is generally stored in a beehive on the outside of the hive. So usually what happens is you have honey, then you have pollen, then you have the brood where the queen should be.
I don't see any bees with the pollen on their legs.
Here's one. Here's a bee bringing in pollen. See it on the legs right there?
See the yellow on the legs?
She's being...
Do you see it, Maria?
I can see it. I'm not sure if I'm getting it.
Gotcha.
But yes.
Yep.
Sorry, I did not answer.
Boy, it is.
So with your hives, do you generally try and keep hives in more of an open field, or does it matter? Do they need more of an open field, or?
Usually you want them near a water source if you can. Like there's just over that hill is a big lake, which helps. Pond, I guess. A food source is better. As far as they say, you're supposed to face them to the east. We have them facing both ways. I think they get better protection from the wind because it's not going through the entrance facing east right now, where the east hives that are facing west are getting more of the wind in them. Sometimes it's hard to find the queens as long as you see eggs. They say to either find the eggs or the queen when you do a hive inspection. You're always looking for like the wings on bees. If they start looking like they're crumpled or a little string on them, that's a sign they got mites. You'll have to treat them for mites. Usually mites aren't prevalent to the fall. Early spring, if they make it through the winter, they still don't quite have a mite problem. That seems to be the biggest thing with them.
And what's the life expectancy of a worker bee?
Usually 6 weeks. 6 weeks in the summer, and then they turn towards the fall. They make bees that actually live through the winter. Something changes in their, I guess you call it genetics, physiology that changes, but I don't. You'd need a microscope, I guess, to tell that.
Can't believe we didn't find her.
Usually when the hives don't have this, there might be what? I would say 20,000 bees in here. Usually you can find the queen pretty easy. Some of them don't like the daylight, so they'll actually run. They call it, they run around and you can't find them.
20,000 bees.
Oh yeah. There could be 100,000 by the end of summer in each hive, easy. Some books say it could even be more. Do you want to know?
Are there other things that threaten hives as far as, you talked about mites, but what are some other things that...
Bears. Yeah, there's another bee yard a couple miles away. Got hit by a bear a couple years ago. I put up an electric fence. He went through the electric fence the first time, tore a hive apart. Second time we boosted up the voltage on it. He never came back after that, which is fortunate. Skunks are a bad thing. One of the reasons the hives are so high off the ground is because of skunks.
Mm.
They say you need to go about 16 inches. Skunks' underbellies are the only things that are vulnerable to bee stings. So when they have to get up and do it, the bees can sting underneath at their stomachs, and that deters them. Or I've only seen one hive ever kill a skunk from stinging it to death. That was in the fall, and there was a lot of bees in the hive. You could probably find a queen in that one too.
I go that way.
Pretty easy. What else wrecks hives? There's American fall brood that was pretty much eradicated. You see it once in a great while. If you have that, you're supposed to burn the hive. That could actually devastate a whole bunch of hives in the yard if it spreads fast, or mites won't. You can just put that outside. This is all new honey in here. No, can you? These bees are carnolians, they call it. They're not very. They're kind of on an aggressive scale, right in the middle between Italians and Russians. So they're not too bad.
Kind of like the mob.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So what is this?
That's all honey.
Oh, honey.
This is actually honey, and then this is the yellow pollen from like dandelions.
Oh, way cool.
That's a whole frame of it. And if you look hard enough, I don't know if you can see it, but right here is some second stage where the larvae's in there.
Where is it? I'm sorry. Where did
It's
you
right about in here. There's a couple cells with larvae.
Oh, sure.
If you can get that.
Oh, there's a queen right there. She's on this one. Right there.
Yep.
There.
I do see her.
Right there. Yep.
Now, the other one was a little bit darker, right? This one's a little bit lighter. Oh, there's a egg coming out right back of her. See it? See the egg?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Yep. You hardly ever see that. She's looking for a hole to put that egg in.
Yep. Wow.
Wow.
That's the size. Oh, I don't know where it went to, but it's gone now. Sometimes they say the worker bees will actually move the eggs too.
That's pretty good that we found her. That's good.
So the worker bees are the ones that go out and get all the pollen, the nectar. They're the ones that,
Yep, they're the ones that do all the work. Now the queen lays in the summertime. If she's a good queen, she'll lay 3,000 to 5,000 eggs a day. That's one thing about bees is if there's nectar or a source of nectar and pollen, they can almost outbreed anything. But when the fall comes and the winter comes, it's mostly when you lose your bees because they can't replace the bees fast enough to keep the hive warm in that. There's a lot of things that, like ants will wreck a hive. Yesterday I found a snake in one. A garter snake, probably about a size of a nickel round, about 1.5 feet long. And it was living in the bottom of a nuke hive like that, with the bees above it. I've seen that probably 2 or 3 times in my life. That was rare. That doesn't happen too often. Mice, that's